So out of the Popple Arts Center, there are so many recreational activities you can do beyond just snorkeling. One of them is traditional fishing. So Timon has a traditional wooden kayak that Mansar and I are going to go out on and attempt. Mansar is going to teach me how to make a local version of a fishing pole, and hopefully we'll catch some fish. So we're going to first start by moving the boat into the water. So on a day like today, where the water is just basically glass, hopefully we'll be able to catch some fish. You can already see there's just a ton of coral right off of the bank line. You're just immediately inundated with beautiful, beautiful coral. Ooh, and because of this coral, there are already many, many dozens of fish, little microfish just kind of swimming around. Wow, this would be a great place to snorkel right off the Homestay ridgeline. Just to snorkel right out here, and you're going to see some beautiful sights. So a little bit about the boat design. You'll see we have the main channel of the wooden boat here, and it's all just one piece. Shooting out, you've got two of these, like I'm going to call them little pontoons. So despite the fact that we're, you know, sitting up high in a very narrow boat, we're totally stable on the water, and a lot of that has to do with the balance of the pontoons. So it's a pretty smooth ride. And when you look at the boat aerodynamics, we are right just on that water line. But with those extensions and those pontoon boats, it just feels very balanced. All right, so just a few hundred yards off the shoreline, and it looks like we are ready to get fishing. So it looks like Mansar has crafted together just a few pieces of cut wood and the nylon string with traditional little hooks on the end. Not sure what we're going to use as bait, but we'll find out. And those are weights? Weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like a little bit of rebar maybe is going to be the weight on the fish line. So if I had to guess sort of the technique that's going on here with Mansar and his fishing, the kind of the pole method, is I didn't see him put any bait on the hook. So it's just hooks dangling down off of the nylon. And with this pulling method, I think, I don't know, if it looks like he's maybe trying to snare fish. So when we've been scuba diving from Popple Arts, the fish are really schooling up at certain times. So I wonder here if the thought is that if we can paddle over a school of fish and just with like the constant snaring of the hooks, that maybe that's what we were aiming for in terms of the fishing technique here. Kind of, yeah, that pull and snare method. So we'll see if that's what's going on. Hey, and just like that, I think Mansar was able to snare a fish. Let's see what's coming up. You can see it dropped quite a bit of nylon, so we're definitely fishing deep. Hey, all right, woohoo! First catch of the day. Yeah, that's great. I can't believe it. So just with that simple snare technique, Mansar was able to grab our first, hope maybe of many fish today. That's very cool. Woohoo! And that nylon has at least maybe five or so hooks on it. So, there he goes. And so back down. That's great, Mansar. Woohoo! And yeah, a simple, so again, I don't know if that fish was a schooling fish, but again, just that simple snare, and that's the technique. All right, so now it's my turn to see if I can match Mansar's fish. It might take a miracle. I'll fight the good fight. You can really feel that weight down there. So I think the idea again is that we're just gonna snare a fish. So at the end of the day, we ended up with one fish. Mansar is kind of the pro fisherman with that. I got skunked on my turn. But really a cool experience to be out here on the water, on the traditional kayak, and just have a little bit of a kind of a quiet, peaceful time. It's certainly a way to go. Yeah, good. So you got one. And Mansar, again, great guy. He'll take you to the right spots, at least to catch a couple of fish, even when it's not the right time of the day for fishing. So thank you so much, Mansar, for that. And what a great day on the water. All right, so we've got, in addition to us out on the water, we're not the only ones. We have three little fishermen here, some kind of young kids giving it a go. And they're using, I can see from here, like a little plastic bottle with the nylon wrapped around it. How you doing, Foggy? Good luck. And the water's really come out, so fishing at really low tides. You know, I think traditionally you're going to want to fish at the higher tides because when all the bigger fish come in. But the water, since we've been gone, has really come out. We might be having to walk through that to get back. So now that we're done fishing, actually Mansar wants to show me a different method of how they would do a more traditional fishing, and where we use rebarb as the weight. Mansar now is going to show us how traditionally they used to do it when he was a boy, and this is sort of a lost art form where you're using the different leaves and rocks, and let's just see what he can show. So, all right, Mansar, what's the best leaf here? That one? And okay. All right, so it looks like he's stripping down the leaves and kind of shredding them. And I wonder if this is going to be something that he uses in terms of making a little mesh net for the rocks to sit in. All right, so again, this is a very traditional way. So you've got the rock tied to the leaf and the hook, and that's going to be a more traditional weight versus, again, that rebarb that we were using. And I think the method here is that when you're fishing, that rock is going to act as the counterweight to your pole. And when you do snag a fish, basically the rock drops and it causes no pollution. It's just rocks and these palm leaves.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. And you get the fish that way. Cool. Okay. Get the hands-on instruction. Okay, so you're just doing a loop knot down at the end. Okay. All right, so I loop under and then through. Like that?
Yeah.
And then rock.
Yeah.
All right. So traditional weighted lure right here. So cool. Got it. Awesome. Thank you, Mansar. So maybe later if the tide comes back in and we can sneak back out onto the water, we will. I'd love to use these. And Alex, like this one's much better. Awesome. All right. So there you go. A quick, traditional, all-natural way to make your weights kind of the counterweight to your snare fishing. I love it. And that one's going to go really deep. All right. Thanks so much again, Mansar. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right. Woohoo. So although we did not catch any monster fishes, the word got around town that the Boulé was trying to fish, and they felt sorry for us, some of the local villagers. So Auntie brought a big fish for us to see. And this is the type of fish that you can catch with that same sort of rigging fish. And so although we didn't catch that monster beast, it's so cool that the local aunties saw us out there and decided to bring a fish by compared to the little one that we were able to snag. So pretty cool.
And his teeth.
just an example of some of the big fish that you could be catching out there with that traditional snaring method, just with that nylon and the hooks. So very, very cool. So I totally struggled as a fisherman. There's a young guy right here on the boat that I was using earlier, and the balance that this kid's got is incredible. He's standing right on the ridge line, and he's just pulling up all these little fish. And you can see there's just thousands of fish right here. These are all, you know, about that long, but they are certainly schooled up, and this little guy here is taking full advantage. And definitely I could learn a couple of tips from him as well. And so while we were watching this guy do his fishing, some of his buddies just showed up.
Gila ka? Hindi ako sa belakan itu. Lalu? Saya bilang ko, belakan di belang besar itu. Hindi apa punya kata. Apa punya sana? Kau mau apa tunggu ko. Dari ko mungkin lah. Toda. Tonton.